Hi, I'm Jocelyn Peterson. This is all possible because of the Previvor, and I'm going to be leading you guys through a 10-minute workout. Before we get started though, make sure that you are cleared from a doctor if you have had a mastectomy, and make sure that you have no injuries before starting. This is a great 10-minute posture routine. You can at any point pause. I am doing kind of a watch timer of 30 seconds. And if at any time, again, please do not push your body, only do what you feel comfortable with. Let's get started. All right, so 10 minutes. What you guys are gonna need is a long band and dumbbell option if you wanna make these exercises a little bit harder. All right, so 10 minutes, here we go. I'm only gonna be doing 30 seconds for each of these. If you wanna make it a full actual 10-minute workout, then I suggest doing an extra 30 seconds for some of these exercises. We are gonna do 2 rounds. Here we go. 30 seconds for band pull-aparts. So you're gonna take those bands, or band, and we're gonna pull apart, hold for a couple seconds. Back is straight, and then nice and slow back. Pull apart, hold for a couple seconds, and back to the start. Make sure that you don't fully lose tension. I want you to have tension the entire time. Focus on shoulders going back and down and pausing at each end. All right, we're gonna go into scapular retraction. So that is gonna be seated. You're gonna grab your band, put it around your feet, and we're gonna be actually choking up on this band quite a bit more so that you have enough tension. You're going to roll your shoulders back and pull. Hold for a couple seconds. Let me start that timer, 30 seconds. Pull back, hold for a couple seconds, and relax. Pull back, try to keep those elbows straight. You can honestly use a mini band too if you want for these. Pull back. Good. Keep your core tension and keep those shoulders away from your ears. Mine like to creep up. I am very trap dominant. All right, good. Okay, so we're gonna go into Y's and T's. For this one, I am gonna go grab a foam roller. I'm gonna toss this band out of frame for a moment. So you don't need a foam roller. You can use a chair, a table, whatever you have nearby. You're gonna place your head on whatever surface you are using. Let me start that timer. Thumbs are going up towards the ceiling. Make sure to roll the shoulders back. Get those hands out of peripheral vision, pausing for 2 seconds, releasing down. And then we're gonna go into a T. Remember to pause for a couple seconds, slow release down. Repeat Y, pause, back to T. Externally rotating, thumbs going up towards the ceiling. Go one more, hold, and release. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna go into our band rows. So you can honestly just go into dumbbell rows. You don't have to do bands. I'm gonna show both versions, but go ahead and grab whatever equipment you want right now. For the band version, we're gonna be standing on that band, hinging, slight bend in the knees, timer is started, rowing. Again, you can start with dumbbells now. You do not need to do the band, but use what you have available. So palms are facing each other. Push the head back, almost like you're doing a little bit of a double chin, looking slightly in front. Keeping the elbows nice and close to bra line. And again, always keep those shoulders away from the ears. Perfect. That was 30 seconds with band version. Now we're gonna go dumbbell version. So if you only have the band right now, we're just gonna repeat it again. So 30 seconds, grabbing the dumbbells, elbows nice and close to bra line, slow, eccentrically going down. Remember to pause for a second and slow down. If your entire back is burning, you are doing it right. You just want to make sure that you have no sharp pain. Good. Nice and slow. If you do want to do these head supported, you can also do that so that it releases a little bit of pressure from that back. All right, that was 30 seconds. We're now going into push-up plus. So for push-up plus, you can do option to do it elevated, meaning you can be on a chair, a table, anything that's making you go a little bit higher to not have so much pressure on your shoulders. So 30 seconds here, going into push-up position. We're extending, looking forward, and then going into that perfect push-up position, extending lower back and upper back, and then slowly releasing. Good. Good, just make sure that you pause for 1 second at the top. Awesome. 30 seconds with that one, and now we're gonna do an overhead, similar type of exercise. So go ahead and grab that band. And what we're gonna do is sit on your band, have your legs out in front or bent, whatever feels most comfortable. You want quite a bit of tension for this one, starting that 30-second timer. And what you're gonna do is punch your arms up. Ooh. Good, extending like you're reaching for something super far above your head, and then you're relaxing. Extend, it doesn't really feel like it's doing that much when you are releasing, but when you're extending, you're really gonna feel that in the shoulder blades. Good, keeping the elbows straight. Reaching, pushing your chest through. Reaching, and relax. Again, when you're doing those, just make sure to pause for a second. We're gonna repeat this all over again for a second round. And you really can do this as many rounds as you would like. Only gonna get better posture from doing it. So we're going straight into that band pull apart again for 30 seconds. So pull up. Okay, that normally has never happened. So we're gonna use a part of a band instead, and I do have a backup band, but I can use this for that band pull apart. So we're restarting that 30 seconds. Here we go, pull apart, hold, and good. We're not gonna edit that out because life happens. So pull apart, shove those shoulders down, and remember, nice and slow, back. Pull apart, hold for a second, and slow back. Good. All the way out. Perfect. Okay, so that's 30 seconds there. We're going back to our scapular retraction, grabbing a new band now. Hopefully yours has not snapped like mine. We're gonna go seated and going around the feet. Starting timer and pulling back. Again, these are all working small muscle groups, so you do not need to be using super heavy bands to recruit bigger muscles. Good. Kind of a little bit of a double chin, so shove the head back a little. Remember to pause when you're pulling, and then slow release. Good. Okay. That is 30 seconds, so we're gonna go into our Y's and T's. Again, you can use whatever you would like. Foam roller, chair, whatever you have nearby. Timer is started, head on the foam roller, thumbs up towards the ceiling, doing our Y, pausing at the top. Slow release down, going out to a T. Good. So I actually had labrum surgery on my left shoulder, so I have a little bit of trouble turning it externally. That is normal. If anyone has had any shoulder issues, these are great in general for shoulder health. All right, moving this foam roller out of the way, that 30 seconds is up. So we're now gonna go into our banded rows. Again, if you wanna do dumbbells right now, go for it. 30 seconds starting, standing on the band, rowing. Pausing for a couple seconds, and a slow release. If you're doing dumbbells, you are still pausing. Again, remember the head. I'm also saying it for myself. Make sure that you're looking slightly forward, and then make sure that you're also kind of shoving the head back a little bit. And it almost should feel like it's burning all the way down your back. If not, you are just strong. Good. 30 seconds with the band. Option to continue using the band. We're going to take a small break to grab those dumbbells. All right, 30 seconds for dumbbell version. Same thing, pausing for a second and going nice and slow down. Pausing and a slow release. Yeah, back is burning. Shoulders are on fire. Good. Nice and slow down. Great, you guys. Okay, that is 30 seconds. So we're gonna end with our overhead push. So grab that long band and go ahead and take a seat on that band. You do wanna make sure that it's as even as you can make it. So, which I didn't quite do that last time. Make sure it's pretty even, then go ahead and scoot your bum on it. Also, you don't need to use a band for this. You can just kind of reach for the ceiling and then sink back down. This is really taking our shoulder into ranges that it should be going into that, you know, we just don't do sometimes when we're working at our desks. So reach, 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 sink back down. It's okay to bend the elbows, but you do want them straight when you are reaching towards the ceiling. Good. Extending, really pushing that chest through, and then a slow release down. You guys did great. That went really quick, and you can totally repeat this entire workout as many rounds as you would like. You can also cut it in half if you are in a pinch for time. Make it a 5-minute workout. Honestly, doing these things once, twice a week is so helpful for posture, especially pre-post mastectomy, because man, we just have so much trauma done to our chest, and also working on computers and driving in cars. So either way, this is beneficial. Thanks for joining.